Hello everyone, it's me, Orpheon, your infinite dragon sorcerer here, and today I'm making a part 2 of What If Asta had Ultra Instinct. Where we last left off in this What If, Asta got his second anti-magic sword, and something was different about it. It's like his ki was being infused into the very blade. And Asta was intrigued by this sword, and he picked it up and it goes into his grimoire. And he goes back to help protect his friends Klaus, Yuno, Luck, Noel, Mimosa, and Mimosa's healing Noel from a recent attack by Mars while he's in his mineral diamond mech suit thing. And he's also using flame recovery magic on himself. And Asta and everyone, well, except Asta, everyone is scared. They thought they were going to die, but Luck is barely running. He's basically running out of mana, and he's getting exhausted. And he's saved by Asta in his Ultra Instinct Omen. And Asta, he tells everyone that he'll save everyone, and he'll protect everyone in the Clover Kingdom, because he'll be the next Wizard King. And he pulls out his anti-magic sword, the second one, and he charges and straight to Mars. He's flying towards him and dodging all of Mars' attacks, regardless of them being mineral projectiles. And he's also attacking them with his other anti-magic sword. Sorry, allergies. And he's cutting right through Mars' mineral magic, and it's dissipating every time it comes into contact with Asta's energy and his anti-magic swords. And since it's ki, not magic, his swords are covered in Asta's power, his ki, and he's a lot stronger and a lot faster. So he's easily able to dodge and evade and also block upcoming and future attacks from Mars, regardless of him being able to use flame recovery magic. And he doesn't even get hurt in this fight. And Asta then begins to get serious, and he actually flies straight toward Mars, center of his mineral golem suit thing, and actually cuts right through it. In Mars, he's unconscious. He's not dead or anything, but some of Asta's ki manages to reach Mars, and he's then knocked unconscious. And the force caused a shockwave, and it's causing the dungeon to somewhat tremor, but it's not destroying it. It's not destroying it at all. And even though Mars lost his mineral spell, and it was instantly defeated by Asta, he still is determined to kill every last one of them, and he's still using his flame recovery magic. And Asta then senses Noel, her ki, it's going into the new sword that Asta got from the dungeon. It's starting to glow a blue light, and then Asta swings it and slashes at Mars, and it actually nullifies Mars' flame recovery magic because it's water magic that's actually being thrown at him. And he's actually down for the count. And everyone else, including he does know about the wind spear because it chose him. And everyone exits the dungeon, and everyone's alright. And they make sure that no one else is there, and the diamond mages pick up Mars, and they still gather a whole bunch of treasure from the dungeon. And everyone came unscathed. And none of them were hurt pretty badly, but Noel is exhausted still, and she then notices that Asta, his shirt, it's kind of tattered and messed up, and Mimosa and Noel are looking at Asta's muscles and how defined his body is, and they're starting to blush. And Noelle face starts turning red, and she tries to slap Asta, but he dodges. And he's like, "No, what's wrong? Did I upset you somehow?" And he's not an Ultra Instinct Omen. He's just able to react very well, and he dodges all of Noelle's slaps and punches. So yeah, now it's time for Asta, Yuno, Klaus, Noelle, Luck, and Mimosa to go to the capital and give their report to the Wizard King and tell him how the dungeon went. And also, things happen relatively similar, and the Wizard King wants to hold Asta's anti-magic sword that he got from the dungeon, and it's still trying to absorb Julius's magic. And yeah, he gives it back to Asta because he's the only one who can hold it, because his key isn't being absorbed and it doesn't get affected by the anti-magic swords. And then we get to the part where everyone of the Magic Knights are getting ranked up in the rankings. They all level up, and now the Wizard King also invites them to the feast that's celebrating each and every one of the Magic Knights getting promoted. And everyone still stares at Asta, Yuno, Noelle, Klaus, Mimosa, and they're just looking at contempt, and they're disgusted just seeing two commoners in their very presence. And they start making fun of them, saying that why should they even let rats like them into our presence? And obviously, Klaus is saying, why did the Wizard King have to put us up to this? Don't you feel the atmosphere in the room? And Asta's like, whatever. And I'm used to hearing this sort of thing, and I've been looked down upon all my life, so it doesn't really bother me. And he's eating, and then Noelle's older siblings, mainly her older brother, starts questioning her and insulting her, saying, why is a gutter rat like you and disgrace to the Silva family even doing here? Just because you're here doesn't mean you're one of us. You're still a failure. And he still pours water on Noelle, ruining her outfit. And Noelle is about to run away sad, but she's grabbed by Asta, and he's looking at her and he says to her, Noelle, you don't need to run away from trash like them. And he stands on, he starts flying, and he's got everyone's attention. And he says, royalty, noble, peasant, commoner, do you think I care? In the end, you're all the same. We're all people. And you are nobles, and your titles and status mean nothing when it comes to power. And not only that, your arrogance will be your downfall. I can tell you that much. And I will become the next Wizard King. And when I become the Wizard King, your statuses will mean nothing. You'll just be like everyone else. And Noelle's brother, he actually tries to attack using his water magic into his form of a water snake, and aims it towards Asta, and he actually dodges it, and he pulls out his anti-magic sword, well, one of them, the one he got from the dungeon, and cuts it and nullifies the magic spell. And then one of the Golden Dawn members of the Golden Dawn actually uses his rock sand magic and makes a sort of golem envelop Asta, but he actually dodged. He dodged automatically to avoid this upcoming attack, and even some of the other nobles are trying to gang up on him. And this is when Noelle's eldest brother Nozel, I think his name is Nozel, he says he starts to emit a very icy cold pressure. And Asta, he's not even affected by it as usual. And he doesn't need to bother sensing the key coming off Nozel because he can sense it, and he's not even scared. He glares down at Nozel, and he is about to land a punch towards Nozel, and Nozel tries to attack using his Mercury magic, but Captain Fuegoleon intervenes by telling everyone in the room that this is disgraceful. The Wizard King authorized them to be here, so I'm starting to think that the boy was right to insult their nobles and the squad captains, because if they're all trying to gang up on Asta just for having his own opinions and ideals, it's disgraceful. And then Nozel and Fuegoleon are staring each other down, and their magic aura is basically all over the entire room. One is in the shape of a blue eagle, while the other is in the shape of a red male lion. And then they hear an explosion, and a mage steps into the room saying, "Everyone, the capital, it's under attack!" And then one of the members of the Golden Dawn uses his stone magic to make a sort of map and geographical area that shows everything, including the magic power of everyone else in the capital. And Mimosa even thinks to herself that this magic spell, it's even more detailed than my mind. And then they try to come up with a plan, and Leopold actually still wants Asta to be his rival, and Asta still is like, okay, I guess, but I think you're only allowed to have one rival. But Fuegoleon is just happy that Leopold is becoming friendly towards Asta because he knows that Asta has a lot of power, and even Fuegoleon acknowledges Asta as his rival to become the next Wizard King. And Leopold and Asta are just talking, and Asta is kind of shocked that one of the nobles are actually acknowledging him as a rival. Well, two of them actually, and one of them's a captain of the Crimson Lion Kings. Asta then decides to fly outside the room through the doors, and Klaus is saying, "Wait, Asta, where are you going? We need to come up with some sort of plan." And he says, "We don't have time for this. Innocent people are dying out there. And more time we waste here, more lives are lost." And then Leopold runs after Asta and follows him, and he's actually excited to see his rival in action. And that whole thing happens, and Rades, he's using his Wraith magic to make countless zombies to attack people all over the capital, and he's laughing maniacally, making fun of everyone who lives there, and watching everyone die at the hands of his zombies. And then he sees a little girl and is about to kill her, but Asta catches her and moves her and him out of the way, dodging Rady's attack. And Asta asks the girl, "Are you alright? Don't worry. I'll protect you." And the little girl is thanking Asta, and Nero sits on top of the little girl's head, and Nero and the little girl go off to hide and get somewhere safe. And Asta is saving multiple people from the capital that are being attacked by Rady's zombies. And Asta is just using his anti-magic sword, the small one, to just one-shot a whole bunch of them with a single swipe. Almost like Inuyasha using his Tetsaiga to use the technique Wind Scar. It's kind of like that. Picture it like that. If you guys seen Inuyasha and know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. And Asta is looking at Rades, and he's an Ultra Instinct Omen. And Rades is saying, "What? Who are you? You a magic knight? Well, it doesn't matter, because you're gonna die anyway." And Asta is basically instantly flies right in front of Rades, and he just punches him right in the face. And Rades doesn't even have time to react. He's just out cold and knocked straight towards the wall, and all of his zombies just are out or defeated. They fall down because they aren't being fueled by Rades' magic. Then Voltos says to Rades telepathically that you've already wasted enough time. We're gonna have to move on to Plan B. And Rades is saying, no, oh, I don't need your help. I got this. I can do this on my own. And Fuegoleon was in front of Rades, and a portal opens underneath his feet. And then Asta, Noelle, and Leopold are seeing this, and then they see Asta just looking at what happened to Captain Fuegoleon, and then Asta senses someone's key underneath the pile of dead corpses of the zombies that Rades was using to control. And Asta attacks, and one of the corpses moves, and it's Voltos. He uses spatial magic, and he removes his mask and his disguise. And then he then says, well, I'm actually surprised you can actually find me. And he actually uses his spatial magic to bring Captain Fuegoleon back, because they got what they came for, the necklace, the stone on Captain Fuegoleon's neck, the necklace he was wearing. And he's lost his arm, and he's bleeding out, and his part of his grimoire is starting to disappear. And Noelle is trying to stop the bleeding on the wound on Captain Fuegoleon. And Leopold is just terrified, and he's in shock because his older brother is just beaten badly. And then all of a sudden, all the other members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun are starting to appear, and they all gang up on Asta, Noelle, and Leopold. And Noelle's trying to help Captain Fuegoleon because he's the only person, he's the first noble outside the Black Bulls to accept her and acknowledge her and encourage her to get stronger. And she doesn't want him to die. She's trying to figure out a way to heal him. And all of the captains and vice captains of the Golden Dawn, all the Magic Knight squads, they're far away somewhere on the other side of the kingdom, so they aren't able to help Asta, Leopold, and Noelle because Voltos teleported them away, and they didn't have time to react. And then all of the members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun are just ganging up and attacking using their spells. One uses wind magic, the other one uses root magic, and the other one's using gel magic. And then Asta's dodging all of them, and he's not even getting hit by any of the attacks from anyone. But he realizes that some of the members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun are trying to aim their attacks towards Leopold, who's still in shock and trying to process what's going on with his brother, and he's hurt. And he actually takes a couple of hits from all of their attacks, and he's a little hurt, but it's not too bad. So he tries to snap Leopold out of it, and Leopold snaps back to his senses, and he says, Asta, I'm sorry you had to see me like this, but now's not the time to be terrified. We have to defeat these guys and save and protect the capital. And Leopold uses flame magic, and him and Asta are both fighting against all of the members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. And Asta is an Ultra Instinct Omen, and Sally's intrigued by this transformation that Asta can use, and she wants to capture Asta and chop him up for some research. And then Asta is actually heading towards all of the members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun and trying to attack using his anti-magic swords. But some of them are actually they're just dodging and evading all of his attacks, except a couple, and some of them are actually getting damaged by Asta's attacks, but not to some extent, because Asta is trying to hold back, but he's just doing this automatically. He has control over Ultra Instinct Omen, but he's just having trouble to keep it on for some reason. And it's because he's trying to master it bit by bit. And this will play a big role in the upcoming parts of this What If series. And then Noelle uses her water creation magic, Sea Dragon's Lair, to go around Asta, Leopold, and Captain Fuegoleon and herself to protect them. But one of the Eye of the Midnight Sun makes roots to absorb all of Noelle's magic spell, and she's barely holding on. But then all of the squads and the captains all made it in time, except Captain Yami, because he's not there. And they all actually are attacking the Eye of the Midnight Sun, and Noelle's older brother, Nozel, sees Captain Fuegoleon injured and lost his arm, and he's bleeding out. And he's actually trying to attack all of the Eye of the Midnight Sun members, and he says, "Mercury magic, raining silver!" And Sally uses her dark magic item to inject her gel magic sticky salamander with more magic, and it's stronger, and it's absorbing all of Nozel's mercury magic spell attack, and it's not even phasing it or affecting it. And Sally tries to capture Asta, but he dodges, and so Asta doesn't get captured. So that part doesn't happen, because he has Ultra Instinct. He can dodge any attack automatically, so he's really strong in this What If. So he's able to dodge and evade Sally trying to capture him with her gel magic. And that whole part with Julius trying to save Asta because he was just passing by, trying to gather information on the Eye of the Midnight Sun, yeah, that part doesn't happen. So Julius still shows up with a captured member of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, the guy who uses root magic, and still captures that one old lady who's part of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, who uses ash magic to absorb people's magic to make herself look younger. And she still captures him. He captures her still. So they have two members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, and they're actually ashamed that some of them were not able to protect the capital, and they later on find out that the reason that the capital was attacked because the mages who were responsible for keeping up the barrier were gone. They were missing. Were they killed, or were they kidnapped, or were they just... no one knows. And Asta is back over at the Black Bull's hideout training and trying to get used to his new sword and mastering his ki. And somewhere along the line, he's gonna eventually get mastered Ultra Instinct. So yeah, he's training, and everyone is just recuperating and trying to get stronger to prevent this attack from ever happening again. And guys, that's where I'm going to leave it off this time. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And click that notification bell if you guys like my what ifs. And also, real quick, on this previous video I made, it's what if Asta had Bond into powers from Seven Deadly Sins, and you guys are voting on the poll I made on that video. It's basically a channel update video. So if you guys don't know about it, please vote on the polls to find out if you guys want Asta to get his own 4-leaf Cobra Grimoire that has all of Mac Bond's attacks and spells. And it also gives him immortality, and he's still naturally born with it. Let's just say it like that. So you guys will have more of a choice to see how that What If series starts. And as always, Infinity Overdrive! Infinite realities, infinite possibilities. See you all next time!